Hello there, I'm Kate and I'm in my nest and I'm so glad that you're here with me. Whatever time or day, I hope you've got a moment to join me in some fun because I have had a blissful day and I've been working um, on a couple of pieces for a little while now and sharing along the way. And I'm eager to show you where I'm up to and what I've learned. And as part of something I shared the other day, I'm very keen to share with you as I grow the influences on me, and they're happening all the time. So I wanted to start and talk about this magazine that I hadn't seen. I know many of you will have seen. I think it's Canadian. But I've got this in my hands because I saw on social media that Kelli Mren's was featured in this magazine. And I'm going to get to her in a moment, but I do want to say that it's isn't it the best thing just to be open and to find out from other people and find our eclectic way through. So this magazine says for the creative and the curious. And how have I not known about this? So I'm very grateful for the people who already follow it. This is not an ad in any way, but it's a recommendation. And what I didn't know is that this issue, it's a quarterly magazine, is about objects of adornment. So I loved that word, adornment. So this is where I'm, here's my card. This is where I'm at the moment with this piece of work that's in front of me because everything is starting to click. Lending grace and beauty, the etymology of adorn. And it goes into the story of, for all time, we have been adorning as humans, way back to the, it has a Latin beginning. Anyway, you can read the article. I don't want to do the wrong thing, but that article has just absolutely resonated with me. And every single page is filled with just absolute amazing things. And what I didn't know, hang on, is, these things happen. They even, I only got this week. They have an article about the letter. And honestly, I did not know about that, using initials. And I've just finished watching, many years late, The Other Berlin Girl. And I kept noticing this pearl necklace, and I didn't know about it, but it was actually in a portrait. Okay, so I am thrilled to find this magazine. And the reason I got it was that you'd think I would have saved it. Sorry. I did have something in it and it's jumped out in my enthusiasm. I should be just going through it while you look because it's just incredible. I've already got an idea for something coming up that's helped me. Don't go so fast. Going backwards. So there's lots of amazing things featured, but most of all, Kelli, where are you? Look, adorning public spaces. There. Oh, hooray. This is Kelli Mren's, and I'm aware that many of you know her work and have been following her for years and years. She is an absolute legend. And I first saw her hearts on Instagram, I think, and just fell in love with them. I know Kelly's working on another set of those, I think at the moment I saw on Instagram. But even more so, I had signed up to do her online course, Sacred Shrines, when I wasn't well, when I came back from my travels a little earlier. When was that? July, end of June. So this is, this stitching is about sharing what I have learnt from Kelli already. And it's not skills as such, or actually there are skills, but influence most of all. So I'm going to show you quickly. I started with this, and I've flashed it in front of your eyes. This one is probably the closest to Kelli's work, and I'll link below, because if you want a wonderful online course available for your whole lifetime. I watched it 3 times before I even started stitching. She's a wonderful teacher, beautiful sense of humour, and such a kind human. And my friend Sarah from Melbourne from Thread and Connect is also doing that course now. And I know a lot of you have signed up as well. But yeah, Sarah's work is just gorgeous. I learnt from this a lot of things, that I couldn't go away from my colours, that I couldn't bead in straight rows, that I didn't have any charms, and that I had a way to go. So since then, I've been making a lot of pieces. This is my work in progress in my colours. So I will name this work, and it will be a big piece that will fly eventually to another nest when it's finished. But I'm just enjoying the adorning of this. So I'm going to use the word adorning for this work now. It's not just embellishing, and it is embellishing, but I adorn myself, as you know, with my jewelry and my fabrics and everything quirky. So I've got beads here, and I've got a nest with my neutrals and naturals in it, and that is because this large piece is very much in the vintage colours. So I'm going to take, oh my gosh, I haven't asked how you are, because I'm feeling so excited. I apologise for that. I hope you are well, and yeah, just enjoy. And if you don't like, that's absolutely okay. So this is on a large piece of blanket, which I have almost patchworked different pieces. And then, oh, I want those. I didn't bring my little dish down. So I'm going to take you through, and she's far from finished, but I have used leftover doilies, this beautiful piece of cotton embroidery, crocheting, and side of a doily. I think I showed you the bare beginnings of this quite a little while ago. The feature is going to be one of my favorite things at the moment, these beaded jug covers, and I'm in the process of adjusting the color of this. It was pale pink, and it probably won't stay that white. I've started, so excuse me, I've got paint and all sorts of things over me. Just learning as I go. Gold stitching there, so that will probably go back into the background a little bit more. I've got dingles. I've harvested that piece of lace that was on another piece. I have my very first charm that came from Mexico, and it doesn't look in any way like how I got it, because I've painted and adjusted and put it on in a different way with tiny gold seed shells. Beautiful piece of antique lace, This is Mrs. Mum's cardigan, the gift that keeps on giving. That pink looks wrong there because it's just a pin. And similarly, on this side, I showed you that the other day, a little cutout. It's like crochet and linen. It's got 4 petals, but I didn't feel that was right, so I've covered up one. And what I love about this is I've used the top beads of the whole doily just to stay there. And that's sort of telling me the direction that I need to go. So I'm down here so far, and I've added it to those little bits of stitching. This is off my cardigan that you've seen many times in many works. Here's the buttonhole. It's from the front of it with some very contrasting big stitches, which is very me, and little quirky bits down here. The most quirky of all, and this may not stay, but peekaboo. The colour just works so well. And I've got the text on here, and the word of the moment is flourish, if you can see that. So I'm going to add a story to this piece. But anyway, that's a direction that Kate is going in at the moment, alongside all my other pieces, but it's bringing together my idea of the bowerbird, and as I said, a lot of things just clicked when I saw that word adorn. So layer upon layer to do. The last thing I did was, there was a gap here, and I've put this very rough and frayed little patch there, and I love that. And I frayed it deliberately on the bottom. This is off that baby's dress that I've had for ages, etc. I don't need to go through everything, but I just thought I'd start with this idea that it's just going to build and build and build, but my basic colours are here, and a little bit of typing here. I've got some other little bits that may end up on the piece. I really want to use text and stories. I want to use hidden pockets, but I'm not quite there yet with this. So I actually was so excited to just get on and chat about about the excitement of this that I haven't really planned out what I've got to do. I found one of my very first pin cushions which matches. I've come across this. This is off my nest. Here's the one that I don't know whether. See, isn't it funny? Ever since Sunday, I've been in the neutral colours. Well, that's not really true, but I've been loving the neutral colours. So I've got a little spare end here, and I thought I might try like even couching, which is something I haven't done. But down here I've got a space. I'm going to stand up actually, because it's important to get the perspective. Okay, so that's stitched on, but what if I, just to add interest, do something like that? I think so. So we've got this absolute, the contrast between the absolute delicacy of the vintage and priceless lace. Oh, this is funny. I hesitated when I saw that these were yellow and they might change colour, but I sort of love them at the moment because they're that little bit of contrast. It's dead center, isn't it? I don't usually do that, but we'll make that work. I was playing with some of my brooches before. See, we're talking adornment. Look at this one. Imagine as a piece of art, imagine that sitting there. I would love that. And that's green. Okay, I'll just put that to the side for a minute and get back to some stitching. Okay, down here. Probably using couching wrong. I'm just meaning a big piece of fabric. So it's Friday afternoon here. I don't know whether I told you that. But for me, after a busy week, I said to Phil, I lived the artist's life. I got up and came down here and stitched. And then stitched some more. And I haven't done anything domestic yet. What I love about Kelli's work, and particularly her hearts, is the detail, and she does very, very exquisite tiny things that my fingers won't do. And that's where I learned very quickly that I've got all these beautiful beads, but I have to find the needle that they fit into. And now I've got myself organized with a threader. That makes it easier. So, but just determined to keep exploring the idea of, and I actually love the meaning behind her work. You know, love and hope, and I think I've been saying for a while that, you know, this gives me purpose. Being on here and sharing with you has literally been an absolute wonderful, wonderful thing, and part of my healing. As humans, we don't even realize sometimes what we've got to work through, but to have the space and the time. So that's why I'm doing this. So if I can create art that tells a story as well, that's where I'm heading. I've got paint and ink and everything out, and black and gold and white, so my hands are showing that part today. Oh gosh, I don't know what I just dropped. If it was my beading needle, I'll cry. I mean, even the idea of that as a tag somewhere. I love that line of black. I want to do some more of these. I don't know whether you can see, I've got 5 little hearts. Oh, no, hearts. Little cross stitches there. I've actually got... Oh, where's Flourish gone? No, I can't cover Flourish up. No, stop that, Kate. Okay, let's go back. Hello to Amelia in Tasmania, who's been popping in just recently, and she reminded me of the Tangly Kate that she first started watching last year. There you are, that's just to prove I'm still a Tangle. Nothing much has improved. Okay. So up here, and again, what I'm playing at is the juxtaposition of, you know, what many call glittery and bling with the ancient fabrics, and I'm not there yet, but I want to explore that very much. So one of the things I did down here, which I was really happy, was I joined that bit to here and that bit of bling and put some beads on. And so it looks like that was always meant to be almost like a cluster together. Did you see the bunny say hello to you? He's meant to be, or she is meant to be on a my beautiful mushroom bag, but I lost. Got buried, of course. All right, what am I saying? Could we do a little bit of beading up here? Oh, and that's right. And I feel that this line needs to continue. So I've used up all the beads that I sort of had. And then I've got these ones. These are just from the local. I don't know whether they'll look a little bit tacky. These are the Amazon ones. Oh, that's the other buttonhole bit of my cardi. So let's start out with capturing the needle. I do have a bead jar out where I've been stitching, but I didn't bring it in. Look, e-beading is certainly going to slow down any video watching you're doing, but I think it's important that I share, because I'm hoping one day, as I said, I could be beading entire big pieces. So small steps. I've got some random metal ones here. Will they go over my needle? Oh yeah. Wow. I didn't expect that. Oh, yeah. go catch the bead. Oh, I don't think that one will go over. Oh, it did. I'm going too much in a straight line, so let's break that up, my friends. Yeah, I just couldn't believe it when I literally opened that magazine and saw things that I've been thinking about recently, and yet entirely by fluke. So I knew that I've done the right thing by subscribing to it. Kiki actually told me that she's got probably 30 or 40 back copies. Imagine the treasures in them. I might have exaggerated that number. I don't know how long it's been going. Okay, so I've sort of just done a few there. I'll probably come back and do another few at a different time, maybe a different colour, who knows. Now, seeing I've got a little bit up here. I don't know whether you can even see that. I really like this doily in the centre. I was really battling. I'd like to at some point make a feature around there, but I don't know what that is yet. I did a little bit of, maybe I can do some beads up there just until this thread runs out. Bit of a grey day here today. I'll try this colour. Oh, but they're going to be, oh no, it made it. And the glass one. I'll tell you, if I thought slow stitching slowed me down, I can tell you beading is just so good for that. I can't rush. Oh, and now I've dropped my needle. So I'm actually going to leave the beading there because that is, life is short and you don't need to be watching me do all of that. Okay, so I've liked these little bits of gold in here. I've still got empty spaces over here around this charm. I've done in gold, so I'm just thinking that, is there some sort of stitchiness that I can do over here? It's not jumping into my mind. I haven't completed this. What if I had that cotton? No. Oh, here it is. This is a perle in a nice, it's not gold, it's mustard. Wondering if we do some little tiny seed ones around these beads. The other idea is that's gone through my head that I've been thinking about is having little sections. So I saw that little piece of my cardigan as a little patch. And now I can look at this little square area as a small spot to focus. And that will make it easier at dark, when I'm stitching in the dark, at least at dark time, to, as the light gets poorer, I can't see the whole perspective and my brain gets tired. So I could, if this seed stitching works, like tonight, just keep going in this tiny little area. And bead and bead and bead. Rare for you to see me make these little tiny stitches. There's a little triangle in there. I don't know whether you can see that from the original tablecloths. It's got all these little adornments in it. So I'm thinking I might just outline that in running stitch. I need to go up the side. I wasn't going to, but I do smaller cape. Okay, and then because that's been a shape, I wonder if I could just, do I need that there? No. Oops. I tried to make myself not put the dangles on, but I couldn't. I'm adorning as I go. So why don't we one, two, three, four. And then why don't I try weaving, which I've not done for a long time. Probably should need 5, but just a little bit of interest. Go down there and up, and then over and under, over and under. that's enough, but I like it. Because it's never going to be perfect weaving for me, but look at that, and those little people down there. So, seeing I've still got some thread, let's go down here and do French knots in these little tiny crocheted holes and see what that looks like. So for me, this is a very limited palette, but I'm trying. Makes it easier to keep my cottons together. 1, 2, 3. I think I need to do more. Oh, and one last one. It'll join it on there. Oh, through there. Okay. It's been a little session. I've made progress. I hope you have enjoyed stitching along or doing whatever you are up to. So this is my little ongoing story piece. Learning all the time, and my first forage into real adornment. So it's textile collage with more and more and more. So I'm going to do some more. So until next time, it's the weekend, so you'll see me often. Keep well, take care, and thank you for watching. Bye.